Hello and welcome to the Honda PCX 125. Now, this is my first ever scooter to try out, so I'm kind of a novice in it this week. Let me just adjust the camera a little bit. Right, so let's start it up. So the great thing about this scooter is that it has a keyless ignition. So basically what you've got is a key, just like that, and yeah, I think it's pretty cool, particularly for a novice like me who doesn't have many experience with motorcycles, and you start it very easily. So this is a rear brake and ignition, that's it, very easy. All right, I think let's go. So this is the 2023 model year for the PCX, so it's not like the newest bike, but I got it on for the 10th anyway. And from what I've seen on the website, it's the best scooter that the Honda has to offer at the moment. And well, from my experience of using it, it really is true. I mean, it is fantastic. So you have these chrome handlebars like you have on a normal motorcycle. That gives you a good feel, really, and also the looks of the scooter as a whole. It's a very characterful looking scooter. I really do like that. It looks like some sort of a wasp or something, or a fly. It just looks daring and fun. So I like that about it. So anyway, so there has been plenty of changes from the last generation. So the one is, as I've said, the keyless ignition. Then another one, which you always see by the T lighting here on the dashboard, is the Honda traction control system for the scooter. It's called HSTC. Is the shortcut, and basically what it does is that it controls the traction during rainy conditions, giving you more grip. So that's another thing that's particularly very good for a novice like me, right? Because when I picked up the bike, actually, I drove just in the rain, so I was all soaked up in the rain, and I was kind of worried if I'm not going to crash it or something. But it was very interesting to drive the scooter in a torrential rain, right? So it's pretty cool anyway. And then other changes on the bike are that you have wider side steps for your foot. You have thinner handlebars, which save around 310 grams, as I've read correctly. And you also got a bigger storage area underneath the seat, which is now 30.4 liters. So the bike is more practical, more comfortable to drive, more comfortable to put your feet onto. So that's pretty cool. You also have here the display, which shows you also the average consumption and other important features like trip and stuff. Yeah, and then there has been a technical changes as well. So we've got the wheelbase of 1.315 millimeters, and we've got the longer travel on the rear wheel, which is now 95 millimeters. We've got dual damping and dual springs there on the rear wheel, and also what's been a change from the last generation is the size of the wheels. So before there was a 14-inch and 14-inch wheel, and now there is a 14-inch at the front and a smaller 13-inch at the rear. And there is also a difference in the side profile of the tire, I think. And also the tires on this newer PCX are wider than before. This one is 110 millimeters wide in the front, and in the rear you get a 130 millimeter wide tire. So that's a technical change, and also there has been a technical change to the engine. So you have new bore, stroke and compression of the engine. The compression is 11.5 to 1, so it's a higher compression. Also the cooling of the engine was improved, and yeah, it was done also in the aerodynamic manner. And what all of this does is that it makes the engine make 12.5 horsepower and 11.8 newton meters of torque. I think it was. We've got of course, like a CVT transmission, I would call it, in the motorbike, with the ratio of 10.65. So yeah, but what's interesting about this scooter, that as a scooter it still does a top speed of 98 kilometers per hour. So I was able to drive it on the motorway here in the city just as fast as the lorries or as normal cars, which was kind of very surprising for me. And I think I have to say it was pretty cool. The acceleration, thanks to this, is a no problem, because we are weighing 130 kilos for the bike, for the scooter, and another sort of 100 kilos is what I weigh. So yeah, the acceleration is really nice. I mean, we're doing 50 now. I put it down, 60, 70, right? So yeah, I think it's pretty cool, and it's really a fast scooter in the city. And now another advantage of this improvement of the engine is the fuel efficiency. So Honda states that there should be the efficiency of 2.1 liters per 100 kilometers. But during my whole week with it, I'm looking at 1.8 liters per 100 kilometers. So marginally better than the Honda states, and that gives me, together with the fuel tank that is of capacity of 8.1 liters, so 8 liter fuel tank, it gives me the range of 450 kilometers in the city. And I think that's absolutely incredible. I mean, you get 450 kilometers of range from such a small fuel tank. I mean, yeah, absolutely great. I really do love that. So yeah, what else was changed? Well, I think this plexiglass is bigger. I think it was around 30%, maybe, if I'm right. There is a LED daylights for this bike, and also a new 3D signature of LED light in the back. It makes the X letter signature, and it's a 3D signature. So yeah, and all of this in my country costs around 3,150 euros. You can get a few extras. You can get the upper boot as an optional extra, which I don't have in here. So yeah, and I have to say, I'm pretty much loving this scooter and riding it, because I also have a car on a test this week, but I still find myself loving just hop on the scooter and drive anywhere I need, really, in the city, feeling refreshed by this summer air and summer breeze. And yeah, it's just a pretty relaxing experience to drive, although many people might be a little bit anxious because of some cars are really big and they might not see you, and the trucks as well. But I was always a little bit crazy in this thing, so I really don't mind that at all. So yeah, and I'm also learning how to lean into the corners on the bike, and I have to say I'm doing it, I think, quite well, actually. I'm quite pleased with it, and it's a nice challenge to try and learn something new in the absolutely correct manner. Up until now, I was only driving some scooters only for a bit of a time, so not really for a longer period. So yeah, maybe you would ask, are there any disadvantages or any critiques to this scooter? Well, the only one I have in terms of layout of these buttons is the stalk for, well, it's a stalk, I don't know how to call it, is the side signal. If I want to go to the right, for example, I just put it there, and then when I want to turn it off and there is a bump in the middle of the corner, I might press it the other direction, which is not what I wanted, right? And also, as I see here, I forgot to mention another function of this bike. So there is a start and stop system on this engine, so that you can turn it off very quickly either switch of the button to the front or to the rear to activate it. So that's pretty cool as well. If you want to hear a honk of this bike, it's a very cute bit of a honk, like it would maybe hear in plenty of cities where the scooters are very favorable as a transportation device. So I do like that, I have to say. Yeah, and in terms of comfortability, well, I have to say it's quite a comfortable scooter. I mean, it still has a little bit of a sportiness to it, a little bit of a good feedback from the road, I think, because the other Czechoslovakian scooters I drove before, they were very soft and, yeah, filtering everything, and this still has sort of a sportiness in it. I really do like that. In terms of brakes, I think you have 220 millimeters front and drum brakes at the rear. So at first I was braking more with those jumps as it was more linear for me and more stable. I was afraid to lock the front wheel until I read that it has ABS. Of course, it's a new bike, so I should have known that maybe. But yeah, now I've started braking with the front one, and it's a really strong brake. And if you need to brake suddenly with both brakes, wow, the braking is really nice. I mean, it's really strong for a scooter and very nicely controlled. So I do love that. Yeah, well, oh, sorry, I see the camera has gone down. Well, I think that would be about it to the scooter. I mean, it's a fantastic experience. It's a fantastic week. And I absolutely do believe this is one of the best scooters the market has to offer. So it gives you fantastic range, it gives you great storage of 30.4 liters. It is amazingly cute to look at, and well, yeah, it's a pretty lovable scooter. So, and I think the sales are saying for themselves, because every third scooter that I see here in the city is the PCX of some sort, of the older generation or even this new one. So, yeah, I guess it is what it is because of how good it is. So I think that would be it to the Honda PCX 125 model year 2023, tested in 2024 by me. And well, maybe more videos with scooters are coming on very soon. Let's see, because I found out that this is actually pretty lovely to do. And well, in the meantime, take care of you, and I'll see you in the very next video. So goodbye.